COVID is the most recent health crisis faced by the world, but before that was AIDS, Ebola, and many more diseases. One doctor led the battle for our nation through it all and now tells his story in a new memoir, On Call, A Doctor's Journey in Public Service. Dr. Anthony Fauci, now the retired director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease at the National Institutes of Health and a key advisor to 7 presidents from Reagan through Biden, joins us now. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
I know you've recently recovered from West Nile virus. I tell you what scared me about that, not only you getting it, but the fact that there's no prevention we can take, no cure, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only prevention is mosquito control and avoidance of mosquitoes. I mean, I didn't think much of it. It's kind of ironic as an infectious disease person, literally right in my own backyard here in Washington, D.C. You generally don't think of West Nile virus in mosquitoes in Washington, D.C., but I got bit and had a real terrible course of disease, extremely serious, particularly for elderly people at my age, being an elderly man. It can be fatal and certainly knocked me out for a couple of months before I actually got back to normal. And you're right, there is no treatment nor any vaccine for this. And when I wrote the editorial, the op-ed in the New York Times, I called for more work to be done internationally to develop a vaccine and therapies.
Well, you're looking great and strong as ever. You're a Brooklyn boy, graduated #1 in your class at Cornell Medical School, but around age 40, it was interesting because as we look at your career, it's sort of explained by the fact that you felt unchallenged and wanted to make a difference.
Well, I had done some work that resulted in some pretty good medical advances for non-infectious diseases, for inflammatory autoimmune diseases. And I did that from 1969, 70 through the mid to late 70s. And it was I believe an important contribution. But over the next couple of years, the work was incremental. It wasn't groundbreaking. And I felt I wanted a new challenge. And then in 1981, in the summer of 1981, the first cases of what would become HIV/AIDS we became aware of, first in LA, then in San Francisco, LA, and New York. And in the summer and fall of 1981, I felt it was very important for me to accept the challenge of working on this brand new mysterious disease that seemed to selectively and almost exclusively, or at least early on, afflict young gay men. And it was a deadly disease, almost 100% mortality. So I felt I needed to accept that challenge and devote my next 40 plus years to studying that disease, and did successfully develop therapies for it.
And doctor, I got to tell you, I mean, people reading the book, you don't need to be a scientist. That's not really, you share some of that stuff, but I was really brought to tears in moments in the book, as you were in the moments of the book, because you write that the 80s were the darkest time of your life during the AIDS crisis. It cost you a marriage, it cost you close colleagues who died from AIDS. Those are really tough emotional times, and you share that openly in the book.
Yes, I do. I mean, I want this book to be both an historical perspective from a person who lived through it as a physician and a public service. As you said, I had the unusual, perhaps even quite unique privilege of advising 7 presidents from Reagan up through Biden, and I was the chief medical advisor for President Biden, over multiple outbreaks of disease. AIDS was the most compelling one because it was a 40-plus year journey. But also, I would hope that it would be an inspiration for younger people to at least consider a career in public service, whether that's in medicine or in another arena or discipline. But I try to get the impression of how gratifying it is, sometimes challenging, sometimes painful, but nonetheless very gratifying to have a career in public service.
Yeah, and doctor, I want to turn to COVID. One more AIDS question, which is President Reagan took a lot of heat for the way it got handled in his administration. Interviewing his daughter, Patty, she said actually he wasn't homophobic, he wasn't anti-gay, he just didn't get it, and had doctors sit around and explain it to him. Were you one of those doctors who did that, and is Patty getting it right?
Yeah, she's getting it right. There's no doubt that President Reagan was not homophobic. I mean, he was from a Hollywood background, and many of his friends, including Rock Hudson, was a gay man. So no doubt he wasn't. But, he was in a very conservative administration, and his advisors around him really didn't make much of it. And they missed the opportunity to use the bully pulpit of the presidency, at least in his first term, to call attention to this emerging deadly disease. It was only his relationship and friendship with Elizabeth Taylor, who she essentially pressured him in his second term to at least come out publicly and warn the country that this was a very serious issue. I briefed him about it, and he did get it, but it wasn't until his second term.
And Doctor, with just less than a minute left, the COVID crisis that we went through, I mean, it's hard to separate the politics from the science in that. And I'm just sort of curious, how did you balance the developing science with the political backlash you had to face as well?
Well, I think you said it. I mean, I did get political backlash because I spoke the truth to the American public. When the president was saying that it was going to go away like magic, I would have to tell the public that I respectfully disagree with the president of the United States. And when he was saying that hydroxychloroquine would be the magic cure for this, I had to contradict him. So it was difficult, but I had to stick with the science, both for my own personal integrity and because of my responsibility to the American public, which was my responsibility. It wasn't to any political party or to any administration. My responsibility was to the American public.
Dr. Fauci, the book is called On Call, and I have to say, not only is it a fascinating read, but having you with me right now, I just have to say thank you, sir. Thank you for a lifetime of service, and with great appreciation for all you've done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You can get the book wherever books are sold. For more information on Dr. Fauci, you can visit AnthonyFauciMD.com. And join us Sundays at 9 a.m. for Political Report right here on WGN. We'll be right back. Stay with us.